Gentlemen, let me ask you something that may sting. When was the last time you truly felt powerful at night? When your body was steady, your sleep was deep, and your manhood was unshakable. For most men over 60, silence follows that question. Because when the sun goes down instead of feeling alive, many feel heavy drained and less like themselves. Confidence in the bedroom fades. Energy slips away. The harsh truth is, this age steals your strength at the very hour you need it most. But here's the shocking part. Just one simple habit before bed can change everything. It's not a pill, not an expensive supplement. It's a gift from nature sitting quietly on a store shelf you've walked past 100 times. Before I reveal it, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Type your city or country below. Let's see how far our community of strong men reaches. And if you care about your health after 60, hit that subscribe button now so you never miss out on tips designed for you. Stay with me until the end, because that's where I'll show you exactly how to turn this habit into the key for restoring your vigor, your confidence, and your sleep. Now let's begin with the first question. Why do men feel older at night? Section 1. Why men feel older at night. Gentlemen, let's face the truth. Many men tell me the same story. I feel fine during the day, but at night I feel weak, tired, and old. Have you felt that too? You wake up with decent energy. You go through your day without much trouble. But as the sun sets, something changes. Your body feels heavier. Your muscles ache more. Your mind slows down. And that spark of confidence you once had in the bedroom begins to fade. It's not your imagination. Nighttime exposes what age has taken from us. Here's why. When you were younger, evenings were a time of repair. Testosterone levels rose, blood vessels relaxed. Your brain released melatonin for deep healing sleep. That's why young men could stay up late, enjoy intimacy, and still bounce back strong the next morning. But after 60, those same systems begin to falter. Testosterone production slows down. Nitric oxide, the gas that keeps blood flowing strong, drops sharply. Stress hormones like cortisol stay high when they should be falling. The result: you don't just feel tired, you feel older than your age. And this isn't just about fatigue. It's about identity. When a man loses his strength at night, he doesn't just lose sleep. He loses confidence. He hesitates with his partner. He lies awake, restless, frustrated, and unsure of himself. I remember one man, Robert, in his late 60s. He confessed he dreaded bedtime because it was the moment he felt most defeated. That broke my heart, because it doesn't have to be that way. Feeling older at night is not permanent. It's a signal. Your body is crying out for support. Support that can be given in the simplest way. And that's where the nightly nut comes in. One small handful before bed can provide the exact nutrients your aging body's missing. Nutrients that turn your nights from weakness into renewal. So let me ask you, have you felt weaker at night? If yes, type the number 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I'd love to see your answers. Now that you understand why nights feel so heavy, let's move to the next question. What exactly is this missing piece? What is this nut that restores potency, energy, and deep sleep? Section 2. The missing piece. The night nut for potency. For years, men have walked into my office carrying the same heavy burden. Tired eyes, a quiet voice, and frustration that their bodies no longer respond the way they once did. They told me about the pills they tried. Cabinets full of supplements that promised miracles but delivered disappointment. Late-night TV ads that raised hope only to leave them empty-handed. Maybe you've tried some of these too. Be honest, have you ever spent money on something that never worked? If yes, type the word yes in the comments. Now here's the warning. The solution was never hidden in a pill bottle. It was never in expensive powders or secret formulas. The real answer is something far simpler. A nut you can hold in the palm of your hand. Ordinary on the outside, but extraordinary in its power. That nut is the walnut. Walnuts are packed with L-arginine, which your body converts into nitric oxide. This is the gas that relaxes blood vessels, allowing strong blood flow. And without strong circulation, potency disappears. But circulation isn't the only gift. Walnuts also contain omega-3 fatty acids. These keep your blood vessels flexible, your heart strong, and your brain sharp. And here's the hidden treasure: walnuts are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, the very hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep deeply. Let me share an example. James, a man in his late 60s, came to me convinced intimacy was over for him. He had tried everything. When I suggested walnuts before bed, he laughed. But after 3 weeks, he returned with tears in his eyes. His words were simple: "Doctor, my nights feel alive again." Now let me pause here. Does that surprise you that something as ordinary as a walnut could bring back energy, confidence, and sleep? This is why I call walnuts the night nut for potency. They strike at the very root of what men over 60 are missing: circulation, hormonal balance, restorative sleep. So the question now is this: why does your body need walnuts so badly after 60? And what really happens when those vital nutrients start disappearing? That's exactly what we'll uncover next. Section 3: Why Vital Nutrients Disappear After 60. Gentlemen, here's one of the hardest truths I share with patients. The male body after 60 is not the same machine it once was. The engine that roared with energy in your 30s and 40s begins to sputter. Not because you did something wrong, but because time quietly strips away the nutrients that keep you strong. Let's take nitric oxide. In your younger years, your body produced it with ease. Blood vessels open wide. Circulation was strong. Firmness in the bedroom was effortless. But after 60, production can drop by half. Even if desire is still there, the body struggles to respond. Warning sign number 1. Loss of firmness is not about interest, it's about chemistry. Now let's talk melatonin. When you were younger, your brain released it every night. It guided you into deep, restorative sleep. But with age, melatonin drops sharply. The result: you toss and turn, waking up more tired than before. Pause for a moment. Have you noticed yourself waking up multiple times at night? If yes, type the number 2 in the comments. You're not alone. And then there's testosterone. It doesn't vanish overnight, but the slow decline becomes painfully obvious after 60. Less testosterone means less muscle, less drive, and less fire. I remember a gentleman named William. He once told me, "Doctor, it feels like my body is leaking strength drop by drop." That image stuck with me, because it is exactly what happens when nutrients fade with age. You're leaking vitality without even realizing it. But here's the hopeful part. Nature has provided a way to replace what's missing. Walnuts deliver the very nutrients your body no longer makes in abundance. L-arginine for nitric oxide, omega-3 OS for blood vessels, and melatonin for deep sleep. This raises the next question. How do you recognize the signs that these vital nutrients are slipping away? What are the silent symptoms your body is sending before a major decline hits? That's what we'll uncover in the next section. Section 4: The Silent Symptoms of Deficiency. What troubles me most as a physician is how quietly these deficiencies creep in. They don't strike with a sudden collapse. They whisper. They steal strength slowly until one day you realize you're not the man you used to be. The first silent symptom is broken sleep. You wake up multiple times at night, sometimes with no reason at all, or you lie awake staring at the ceiling long after turning out the light. That broken rhythm robs you of the deep stages of sleep. And without deep sleep, your hormones can't repair and your blood vessels can't heal. The second symptom is weaker erections. It starts subtly, a little less reliable. It takes longer to respond. At first, you brush it off, but over time, that subtle decline grows into frustration and even shame. Let me ask you, have you noticed mornings without firmness that used to be automatic? If yes, type 3 in the comments. Your honesty may help another man feel less alone. The third symptom is daytime fatigue. Even after 7 or 8 hours in bed, you wake up groggy. You move through the day, sluggish, unmotivated, heavy. It feels like your energy tank has a leak you can't plug. And here's the warning. Too many men believe these signs are simply normal aging, but they're not. They're red flags, signals that your body's running on empty. I remember a man named George who came to me exhausted. He thought it was just stress, but when we checked his sleep patterns, hormones, and circulation, the truth was clear. His body wasn't broken. It was starved of the nutrients it once had in abundance. Add mood swings and irritability, and these deficiencies don't just affect your health. They touch your marriage, your relationships, your confidence, your joy. Here's the good news. You don't have to accept this slow fade. You can replenish what's missing, and it starts with choosing the right source of support each night. So now the question is, what is the best nut, and how do you use it the right way to unlock these benefits? That's exactly what we'll cover in the next section. Section 5, the right nut the right way. When I first tell a man that the answer to his nighttime struggles may be found in a simple nut, I often see disbelief. How could something so ordinary make such a difference, doctor? That's the beauty of nature. It hides extraordinary power in the most unassuming places. Among all the nuts on the shelf, almonds, cashews, pecans, pistachios, only one stands out, the walnut. Walnuts are more than a snack. They're a concentrated package of everything your aging body cries out for at night. L-arginine fuels nitric oxide opening blood vessels for better circulation. Omega-3 fatty acids protect your heart and brain, fighting stiffness and inflammation. And melatonin, the hidden gift, signals your body that it's time for deep restorative sleep. Pause and think, how many nights have you lost to restless turning, wishing for energy in the morning? Wouldn't it feel incredible to wake up steady and strong again? Let me share an example. John in his 70s had been eating almonds faithfully for years. He thought they were the best choice, but after switching to walnuts before bed, his mornings changed. He told me, "Doctor, my sleep feels deeper, my energy is stronger, and yes, my wife noticed too." Now here's the warning. It's not just about which nut you choose. It's also about how and when you use it. Too many men make mistakes that weaken the benefits without realizing it. Question for you, have you been eating walnuts randomly, maybe with lunch or mixed with dessert? If so, type the number 4 in the comments. I'll show you why timing matters more than you think. Because walnuts eaten the right way at the right time unlock their full power, not in the morning, not tossed into a heavy dinner, but in the quiet hour before sleep when your body prepares to repair. So here's the truth. Walnuts are the night nut for potency, vigor, and restorative sleep. But unless you use them correctly, you may never feel their full effect. Which brings us to the next critical question. How exactly should you take this nut at night to see results? That's what we'll dive into in the next section. Section 6, how to take it correctly at night. Over the years, I've learned a simple truth. Even the most powerful remedy can fail if it's not used the right way, and walnuts are no exception. Too often, men hear walnuts are good for them, then toss them into their diet at random. They expect miracles, but the body doesn't work like that. Timing is everything. So here's the first rule. You don't need a bowl full of walnuts. In fact, overeating can backfire. A handful, just 4 to 6 halves, is enough. That small amount carries L-arginine, omega-3s, and melatonin in the perfect dose. Warning number 1, more is not better. Eat too many and you'll end up with stomach discomfort, bloating, and unnecessary weight gain. The second rule is timing. Walnuts should be eaten about 1 hour before bed, not in the morning, not as an afternoon snack, and definitely not drowned in a heavy dinner. Why? Because at night your body is preparing for its repair cycle. That's when the nutrients work like fuel, powering your sleep and your strength. Let me give you an example. David, in his late 60s, told me he'd been eating walnuts for years but noticed no difference. When I asked when he ate them, he shrugged, usually with lunch. Once he shifted to eating them before bed, everything changed. His sleep deepened. His mornings felt lighter. His confidence returned. Pause for a moment. Are you currently eating walnuts during the day instead of at night? If yes, type 5 in the comments. You may be missing their full potential. And here's the third rule. Keep it simple. Raw, plain walnuts, not candied, not roasted in salt and oil. Those additives cancel the natural benefits your body needs. Think of it like fueling a car. The right fuel at the right time makes the engine run smoothly. The wrong fuel or too much of it causes trouble. So if you want potency, vigor, and deep sleep, remember this. It's not just the nut itself that matters. It's how and when you take it. Now, once you get this right, what changes should you expect, and how soon will you feel them? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. Section 7, the transformation timeline. Gentlemen, one of the first questions men ask me is this, doctor: how long will it take before I notice a difference? It's a fair question. When you've struggled for years with restless nights, fading energy, and disappointment in the bedroom, you want results. The truth, every man is different, but I've seen a clear pattern. Here's the warning. If you expect an instant miracle, you'll give up too soon. Walnuts are not a quick fix. They are an investment night by night. In the first week, most men notice better sleep. They fall asleep faster. They wake up fewer times. And this alone feels like a small miracle, because deep sleep is the foundation for everything else. Have you been longing for just one full night of rest? If yes, type 6 in the comments. By the second week, mornings feel lighter. You rise with more energy. Tasks don't seem so heavy. That sluggish cloud begins to lift. In the third and fourth weeks, something remarkable happens. Morning erections return, one of the clearest signs of vascular health. Men describe this with relief and pride, because it proves their body is still alive and responsive. Let me share an example. Michael, in his early 70s, had nearly given up. But after 3 weeks of eating walnuts at night, he smiled as he told me, "Doctor, I feel like myself again." And it's not just physical. Confidence returns. Men approach intimacy with less hesitation and more excitement. Couples grow closer. By the end of the first month, the benefits begin to feed one another. Deeper sleep fuels better hormone balance. Better circulation supports both heart health and performance. Energy builds day by day. You feel more like the man you used to be. Question for you: can you imagine yourself 1 month from today, waking up rested, strong, and confident? Hold that picture in your mind. But remember this warning. Consistency is everything. Skip nights and the cycle weakens. Stay faithful and transformation builds. Now, even with something this natural, mistakes can still sabotage results. So in the next section, I'll reveal the 3 most common mistakes men make and how to avoid them. Section 8. Avoid these 3 common mistakes. Gentlemen, even with something as natural and powerful as walnuts, success often comes down to avoiding a few simple mistakes. I've seen men give up, convinced that the nut didn't work. But the truth is, it wasn't the walnut that failed them. It was how they used it. Mistake number 1, eating too many. Remember, more is not better. A handful, just 4 to 6 halves, is all you need. When men eat large amounts hoping for faster results, they often end up bloated, uncomfortable, or gaining weight they didn't want. Here's the warning: overloading your body never works. The right fuel and the right dose makes the engine run smoothly. Mistake number 2, eating walnuts at the wrong time. Some men proudly tell me, "Doctor, I eat them every morning." But then they wonder why nothing changes. Walnuts are designed for the night. Their melatonin works with your evening rhythm. Their L-arginine prepares your circulation while you sleep. Pause for a second. Have you been eating walnuts during the day instead of at night? If yes, type 7 in the comments. You may be missing their true power. Mistake number 3, eating the wrong form. I've had patients admit they were eating candied walnuts or roasted ones covered in salt and oil. They thought it was the same. But all those additives blunt or even cancel the positive effects. The real benefits come only from raw, plain walnuts. Let me share a story. Richard, in his late 60s, told me he had been eating walnuts for months with no difference. When I asked how, he laughed, mostly caramel-coated after dinner. Once he switched to raw walnuts eaten 1 hour before bed, the change was dramatic. Better sleep, more energy, stronger performance. So here's the key. Avoid these 3 traps. Don't eat too many. Don't eat them at the wrong time. Don't eat them coated or flavored. Because avoiding these mistakes can mean the difference between frustration and transformation. Now, if you want to maximize results even further, there's a way to combine walnuts with a few key nutrients for even greater power. And that's exactly what we'll cover in the next section. Section 9, the secret boost, walnut plus other nutrients. Gentlemen, walnuts alone are powerful, but when combined with the right partners, their impact can multiply. I call this the secret boost. The first partner is zinc. Zinc is essential for testosterone production. Without it, your body struggles to maintain strength, drive, and potency. Here's the warning many men over 60 unknowingly run low on zinc. That deficiency shows up as weaker erections, slower recovery, and fading desire. Now imagine this. Walnuts for nitric oxide and melatonin paired with zinc from oysters, lean beef, or pumpkin seeds. That combination fuels both circulation and hormones. Pause for a moment. Do you regularly eat foods rich in zinc? Type 8 in the comments if you do. Type 0 if you don't. The second partner is vitamin B6. This vitamin supports brain chemistry and hormone balance. When combined with walnuts, it helps stabilize mood, sharpen focus, and regulate sleep cycles. I had a patient named Edward who started pairing walnuts with salmon at dinner. Within weeks, he said, "Doctor, I not only sleep better, but I wake up calmer and more focused." The third partner is magnesium. Though walnuts contain some, adding magnesium-rich foods like spinach or dark chocolate can make a real difference. Magnesium enhances relaxation and deep restorative sleep. One man, Henry, told me he added a small square of dark chocolate alongside walnuts at night. For the first time in years, he slept straight through until morning. That simple ritual gave him control he thought was gone forever. Here's the warning. This is not about complicating your life with dozens of supplements. It's about small, thoughtful pairings that amplify results. Think of it this way. Walnuts open the door. Zinc, vitamin B6, and magnesium help push it wide open. Now let me ask you, if you could choose just one nutrient to add alongside walnuts tonight, which would it be? Comment with zinc, B6, or magnesium. Your choice may inspire another man. So far, we've looked at the science, but in the final section, we'll go deeper, because this isn't just about nutrients. It's about what happens to your confidence, your relationships, and your joy when you reclaim your nights. That's what we'll explore next. Section 10, the emotional core, why this truly matters. Gentlemen, let's be clear. This conversation isn't just about walnuts. It isn't even just about nitric oxide, testosterone, or melatonin. It's about something deeper. It's about how you feel as a man when the lights go out, when the world is quiet and it's just you and the truth. I've seen men who look perfectly healthy on the outside, but inside they carry a heavy weight, the weight of frustration, the fear that their best days are behind them. Here's the warning. That silent pain doesn't just affect your nights. It touches your mornings, your relationships, and your joy in daily life. When sleep fades, mornings feel empty. When erections weaken, intimacy becomes distance. Not because you don't want closeness, but because you fear disappointment. Have you ever pulled away from your partner, not from lack of love, but from fear of failing? If yes, type 9 in the comments. You're not alone. I remember a man named Charles, mid-60s, who said, "Doctor, I don't care about being 30 again. I just want to feel like myself." That honesty struck me because it's the same longing so many men share. Not perfection, restoration, to wake up rested, to feel steady in strength, to share closeness without hesitation. This is why the nightly ritual matters. It's not just nutrients for your body, it's control for your life. Proof that age does not define desire. Picture this, you 1 month from now going to bed without dread, waking without exhaustion, looking in the mirror and seeing a man with fire still inside him. Let me ask you, what would that mean for your confidence, your marriage, your happiness? Hold that thought, because that's the true reason this matters. Walnuts may seem small, but what they represent is powerful. A chance to take back your nights, your mornings, and your manhood. And in the conclusion, I'll tie everything together, so you'll know exactly how to make this ritual a lasting part of your life. Conclusion. Gentlemen, we've walked this journey together. We began with the truth that nights often feel heavier with age. Your energy fades, your sleep breaks apart, your confidence slips quietly away. We uncovered the missing piece, the walnut, nature's night nut rich in L-arginine, omega-3s, and melatonin, the very nutrients your body cries out for after 60. We explored why vital nutrients disappear, why sleep potency and energy fade, and we uncovered the silent symptoms too many men ignore: restless nights, fading erections, sluggish mornings. We looked at the right way to take walnuts, just 4 to 6 halves, 1 hour before bed, plain and raw, simple but powerful. We saw the transformation timeline week by week, night by night, and the mistakes to avoid so you don't sabotage your progress. We even revealed the secret boost: zinc, vitamin B6, and magnesium partners that multiply the effect. But most of all, we reached the emotional core. This isn't just about health, it's about reclaiming your strength, your intimacy, your joy as a man. Now here's my challenge to you. Start tonight, don't wait. Don't let another month pass wondering if it will work. Take back your nights. If this message gave you hope, do me one small favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe for more honest, doctor-backed advice for men over 60. And share this with a friend or brother who needs to hear it. Because sometimes one conversation can change a life. So remember this. One small handful of walnuts each night may not look like much, but it represents something bigger: a choice, a chance to live with strength, sleep with peace, and love with confidence. Gentlemen, age may shape us, but it does not have to define us. Now go claim the nights, the mornings, and the man you were always meant to be.